In this video, I'm gonna beat every challenger score in Pokémon Snap on the N64. I'm playing on the Switch too, so I do have a rewind feature, but I'd like to not use it. Now, the first focus is getting a photo of each different species. So here we have the duo. It's important because there is a multiplier, but we also want good photos. So for something like Pikachu, if I can get it on the surfboard, for example, and then use the thunder with the flute. Well, it won't thunder, I guess, but hey, it's still on the surfboard, so that's good. Now, some photos that don't get as much points, I'm not gonna take a lot of Butterfree ones, for example. But for something like Snorlax, it's important at least we get one photo of each. For Meowth, I do like to try hit it with the Pester Ball if I hit it, because this can make for some good photos. It's so cute. Now here we're gonna Pester Ball. I do want to get the Scyther. And there's also a couple of Pikachus hiding here. There we go, we do get the Scyther. Oh, there's the Pikachus. Oh. They're a bit late and I hit one with an apple, so that's not gonna help me much. Yeah, that was a bit bad, but it's okay. Now, here, there is another Scyther, if we missed the original one. Now, upcoming is a bit of a mix because we have Chansey here that we have to hit, as well as Eevee, which I might have missed because of... Oh, yeah. Playing the flute for the Lapras. If I can hit Kangaskhan with the Pester Ball, or some couple of good snaps. And that should pretty much be everything. I do have 10 more shots left, so I'm gonna use them on the PG and Meowth here, as they use Gust, and that should be the last of the 60 photos. Now, with the 60 pictures, did we get... And we just beat the score barely, but we did it. And if we look at the photos, yeah, the Pikachus were not that close, so that's where I lost a lot of points. Scyther still was like a good 3k. Chansey was still good, even though it wasn't facing right. I did get an Eevee, which is my best Eevee so far, apparently. The Lapras was terrible, but it just counted as a multiplier. Kangaskhan was okay. Meowth, not that great. PG was a gusting, so it helped, but it was a bit far. So yeah, eventually we did get the high score. Next is the tunnel. Now I've already beaten this, so I feel more confident. We do have a Pikachu right here that I completely missed. And it's okay, there's more Pikachus. Now here, I like to speed up a bit, just so that I can be even closer to this exploding Electrode. Sometimes if you speed enough, you can get ahead of this Electabuzz. Not a big problem, if not. Now here for the Kakunas, we want to explode a couple of Electrodes here, because when they explode, the Kakunas will go down. So those are some good photos. I'm happy with that. Here we're gonna get ready for the Zubat. Not sure if I got it. Now the most useful one here is we want Pikachu to move a bit, and then we can get a Zapdos here. Now, there is also going to be a Magikarp jumping, And then we snap a couple more shots of Zapdos while it's electrocuting stuff. Just snapping a couple more, just in case I failed initially. Now we do have a Diglett that I wanna. There we go. We got a Snap Haunter, we did that. And Pikachu. Now, we're gonna keep doing Diglett, because Diglett keeps moving and eventually becomes Duck Trio. And eventually we get more Duck Trios. And eventually we get more Duck Trios. Now there's also a couple of Electabuzz here that I could have snapped, depending on what the focus is. Now last thing is the Magnemite. Now one Magnemite, if they start to follow the apple, and you can take a photo of them. Now last one is Magneton, so if I take them all together, they become Magnetons, and we're gonna use all the remaining snaps. Okay, with 60 pictures, I did beat the score. It's not my high score, but it did beat the challenge score. If we look at the points we got for each Pokemon, the exploding Electrodes is some really good points, which is why I took a number of photos at the start. Now the Electabuzz was not great because it's from the back, so I'm gonna keep the original. Kakuna, not that great. Again, I didn't take many photos. Zapdos is really good, even though it's not a great size, but if it's using Thunder especially, it's gonna give some good points. Magikarp, I just took it for the multiplier, which is fair. Zubat, same thing, not expecting much. Haunter, usually you can get a good size, so that's usually a good 3k points, more or less. Diglett, I didn't focus on well enough, which is fine because it did allow me to get some Duck Trio ones, which almost get to 4k, especially when there's 3 of them. Magnemite, not a great score. Same with Magneton, I'm not expecting much, but the total, we got the high score that we needed. Next, we're gonna visit the volcano. I have a high score that has beaten the challenge, but it's always a challenge nonetheless. We're gonna start with Rapidash here. Now we wanna make sure that we stop it so we get a bit of neighing, because that is the best score. There are a couple more Rapidash there, but I don't think they're worth the points. Same with the Dwelpix, so I'm gonna speed it up. And here, I would like to get a bit of a close-up, although I don't like the close-up I got, but it's fine. I just need one Vulpix photo, and I'm good. Although now we're stuck waiting for the Vulpix. Yeah, that will be cute. Now, I do skip taking photos from this Magmar and Charmander, although sometimes if like this I get a good Charmander shot. It's not a great shot actually, but the most useful is here. We wanna get the Charmanders here, we wanna throw apples, and yeah, that Charmander will shout and get more Charmanders here. Yep, there's 2 more, we should get 6. Now we want to bring them much closer to us. Want to be careful to not hit the Moltres here. And when they start jumping, we want to take as many photos as possible. We can also make them dance. They're so cute. But usually the apple makes them the happiest. So it's so hard to get them to, yeah, like that. That's perfect. Want to take a couple more photos there. Now we're gonna drop the Moltres. I don't want many photos of Moltres because I don't usually do good photos. Now, very good are these Magmar if they attack each other. Yep. Perfect. Now, obviously we want to keep some shots left. Here we get a good Arcanine or Growlithe, depending. And the last one is... we already have a Charmeleon technically, but we want to drop it. And we want to get Charizard. Now the best Charizard photos is after we annoy it with an apple. And it will do this flame attack. And that's the end. I've took my 60 photos. Right. Wow. This is gonna be a really good score. It doesn't beat my high score, but we did beat it. Now let's hand those photos to Professor O and see which ones were the most valuable. Now the Rapidash, it wasn't a good photo, so I'm fine with that. The Vulpix, because it's such close, it was valuable. Charmeleon, we just did this for the points. I know we didn't do well. Now Charmander one, I guess it depends on which ones you focus, because as you can see, if you don't center on the right Charmander, you might get very little. But the previous one was like almost 5k, so yeah, maybe I needed to take better centralization there. Moltres, I knew I don't take good Moltres photos. A Fighting Magmar is very good. In this case, I had a good size as well, and same Pokemon. It always gets me above 4k, but even though it's not my best, it's really good. With Arcanine, very solid, almost 4k, and Charizard, I'm not sure why this wasn't better, but overall we beat the high score, so what matters? Okay, next is River. I haven't beaten the challenge score, and this is the toughest, I think, by far, because it's hard to get all the Pokemon. It's so specific. I start by pestering these Poliwags, and there we go. Now I also want to pester this Bulbasaur. In the meantime, we're gonna pester these again. Come on! They've been separated. Okay. I did not manage to get this Bulba out. It took me too long for the Poliwags, but that's okay. Now here is perhaps the most important. We want to get an apple onto that fishing area for Slowpoke, and while it goes to fish, I need to take a couple of photos of Vileplume. Now while it's fishing, this is going to be a very good photo here of both Shellder and Slowbro. This is going to be the moneymaker, so I'm going to take as many photos as possible, while obviously leaving a bit of snaps for the remaining Pokemon. There is a way we can get more. Now, in the meantime, while we travel here, I always put in some pester balls or Pokeballs, because you can always get a good shot of a fish, potentially, like Poliwag. Now, there is a Psyduck here that we want to hit. My aim is terrible, but that's okay. Okay. I got the Psyduck. Now here is 2 Porygons. We want to hit the Pester Ball there. Wasn't the quickest, but that's okay. We got some couple of good photos. Now Psyduck can jump here. I did not get a Cloyster because I did not do good Shelders, I suppose, or I might have missed it. But we also have a Pikachu here. Okay, it's speed Pikachu, but we can also play the flute if we wanna make it thunder. It's not the best photos, but I just want to make sure I get a Pikachu. Right, with 60 pictures taken, I got the high score that we needed, even though we didn't have Cloyster. And if we look at the best scorers here to get an idea, the Poliwag close-up was actually equal to my best score, even though there were other Poliwag in the photo. With Bulbasaur, it's very close. It's a very good close-up to get there, so that's good. A couple of shots. Vileplume, I never get anything major. Now Slowpoke. Slowpoke, I didn't get a very good close-up, but because it does the fishing, I do manage to get like a very good Shellder, and that's actually my best. Biting Shellder, very perfect. And Slowbro here. Good size, good pose, I get a very good close-up, and that's a lot of 4,000 photos. And I'm actually gonna use the new one. No matter what, I just do it for the photo. It somehow was the record, but I just skipped that. With Porygon, actually, surprisingly, I did well. Not my best, but very close. That's a 3K. Psyduck, once it jumps out, if it's close, you're gonna get around 3K as well. And Pikachu, you get a special because like it's speed, for example. Even though it's not close, it counts as a multiplier. I did miss a Cloyster, so that's kinda a bit of a shame. Next up is the cave. I have beaten the high score before, but it's challenging. It's a hit or miss, depending on my aim. Gonna be honest. I want to start by taking a photo of these Grimers. And it's really important that we do. Also that one Zubat, just in case we don't get photos of Zubats later on. Now with that Grimer, we focus on this Bulbasaur here. And actually, if we hit it, it will become a Ditto. If. That's a big if. Regardless, I'm gonna focus here on this Grimer here. And by hitting it a couple of times with the Buster Ball, it will become a Mach. Ideally, it looks at us, so we get better photos, but that's okay. Now here we want the Dittos, so at least we're getting them. Now here we wanna actually hit the coughing as soon as possible, and I still wanna snap it, and Jigglypuff becomes happy because that will release the second coughing that we can hit right away, making it very close. Now I do wanna snap that Weeping Bout, but more importantly I want to hit the last coughing. There we go, perfect. Now that I've done that, I wanna, oh, this is not gonna be good. I shouldn't have fast batted. I want Weaving Bell to go around, and that's why I shouldn't have spatted, because now it can become a victory bell. But at least I got that around. Now I don't know if I can take a photo of Pikachu here. It's gonna be hard, and I never focus on saving it really because the Jigglypuff are the make or break of my strategy. Now here we want one photo of Jinx, and then we're gonna get Articuno. I don't need that many photos because, again, my focus is the Jigglypuff. So I'm gonna speed this up, and this is the gold mine of points. With 3 Jigglypuff, oh, we don't want to be playing music so that they can sing themselves, and I want to take as many photos as I can. Now I did mess it up a bit, not gonna lie, but I still got as many photos as I can. I shouldn't have been playing music for Jigglypuff. Now with 60 photos, that's some good points, and it's actually a new high score. Wow. Now let's see where the points came from. We know the Grimer was not a good photo, we just wanted the muck. Same with Bulbasaur, we just wanted the multiplier. So those are quite fair. Now the muck wasn't quite close, so it could be way better than I got, but it's still a muck. With Ditto, I never get really good pictures of Ditto, so I'm not too fast. Weeping Bell, we just wanted one before we evolved it, so again, not fast. Could be better. Victory Bell, we did a mistake that we were a bit late, so we could have done better, but it's still good. Zubat, it's hard to get good photos of Zubats, to be fair. Jinx, we just wanted one Jinx, but you can definitely get a good close-up if you want. My focus was Articuno, which is a hit or miss. I could get 4K, but I really did not get a lot of great photos. But the Jigglypuff Trio on stage, that is where the special value comes in. The size doesn't really need to be great, but because of the pose and the special, it goes into 5K per photo, and with the other Jigglypuffs, it's very close to my top photo. That's 6K per photo of those Jigglypuffs, and that's how you beat the cave challenge. Now the last main course is the valley. We'll still do the rainbow cloud, but the valley is another challenging one, like the river, to be fair. So here, we're gonna start with the... Oh my, I almost called them Shellders. The Squirtles. We can usually get up to 3 here, if you're quick enough. They're so cute, and you can make them dance. Now, most important is actually this Magikarp here. That is somewhere here. There we go, I've managed to put Mankey to kick it. Now here we can put these, there we go. We can get the Sandshrew by knocking off the Geodudes. We can do the same there. Perfect. Now, as you can see, Sandslash has gone in. We have to repeat the same thing with these Geodudes. We actually need both of them. Okay, there we go. I do want one good Mankey. Now this is where things get a little trickier. Here there's a waterfall, so what you'll see is actually a Magikarp flinging in, but we want to knock this into the waterfall. We can also play music for this group dance for these grapplers. Now Magikarp going into the waterfall means we have a good Gyarados. We'll take a good couple of photos there. Now we get ready to go down. Now I did miss a Staryu, so I have to be very good with this Staryu here. I'm not sure if I got it. I did miss the first one. I did get this one actually, so that's good. Now that it's circling me, it will go there and become a Starmie. I totally missed that. I do want to throw a couple of Pestle Balls here, and we get the Dragonite, and that's some good photos. I still don't have a Goldeen or a Dragonair. Also Squirtle, we want to knock this, ideally hit the Mankey. It's okay if we don't, but I do have like 14 photos left, so I need as much as possible to get some good photos. If we can get a Goldeen, that would be perfect. I'm just gonna spam items and hope a Goldeen spawns. I keep getting the Magikarps. Why? That's a good Dragonair too. I just really want Goldeen for the multiplier. Oh, okay, we're not gonna get Goldeen. I don't know if I got Goldie. Were the 60 photos good enough? Ooh, barely. So let's take a look at the best photos. So starting with Squirtup, I know I did not get the trio like my best photo, so it's not a bad photo actually, it's still a good close-up. Now with Mankey, it was a far away photo, so I did not get the last Mankey, so it's okay. With Sancho, not a great photo that I got to snap. With Gyarados either, so I'm just gonna quickly skip through these points. Actually, Sandslash is quite close to what I had before. It's a close-up 3K. Now Magikarp, well, as you can see, it's very far, so what are we expecting? Graveler, because it is the group dance, we get a bit of a bonus points. I did get a good size, a very good pose, and that's actually the best by 1000 Graveler photo that I had. At the other side is Gyarados, which I got some really good size and pose here, so 4.5k, that's awesome. Now Staryu, not the best photo, it's not looking at us. Starmie, even worse. That's some really hard one. Now Dragonite, not too bad. I did see that's not the best photo, so it's okay. Dratini, did I say Dragonair during the course? I did. I did manage to get that good zoom from the jump, and I did not get the Goldeen. So even without Goldeen, we managed to get the high score.
Yes.
Last is the most challenging, the Rainbow Cloud. There is only one Pokemon, which is Mew. So it's gonna be hard because you need pretty much a perfect run. Now, the first few rounds is a bit tedious because you gotta break this shield for Mew. And I'm not the best at aiming, so well, I'm gonna eat my words because like I hit very well. With 3 hits, the big green barrier is gone. Now we have the yellow barrier, which is also annoying, but at least we're making progress. Okay, I did hit it once. I don't know if there's a pattern of where it goes left or right. I don't think so. So you gotta have good reflexes. Not like that. See, that was bad. Okay, I managed to hit it 3 times again, I think. And that breaks it. Now, okay. We gotta hit it as much as possible. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We wanna chain this as much as we can. Because this is the most, it's hard to get it again like this. You gotta do the best you can out of it. And keep chaining. Oh my god. Yes. This is the best Mew chain I've had. Woo. We're out of fill. We've managed to get the Mew. My heart's racing. We did. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not even sure what the best photo is. I'm gonna say this might be the best photo. It's very hard to choose because they're all spinning Mews. And I'm curious, the rare Pokemon Mew. So by default we got 2.5k. Not a bad size. It's spinning. So yeah, 8k points, and that's how we beat all the challenges, all the challenge courses in Pokemon Snap and 64 without using Rewind.